This is the Fantasy Roadshow.
Heyo, welcome into another episode of the Fantasy Roadshow. We are your hosts. Today it is Truck and Shane O'Mac. You can find me on Twitter at fantasy_truck. You can find him on Twitter at smccormick_ff. Shane, how you doing today? Happy Thursday. Ready for week 11?
I am. We've got Bengals Ravens action already happening.
Yep, you got some pieces in this game?
I am going against some pieces. So I am going against a Mark Andrews team. I am. And I do have the Ravens defense in this. So,
oh, okay. Interesting.
I would love like a pick six. And Andrews is being helped by two people. I'm just seeing on the stream right now. So wait to see what that update is on him.
Yeah. I have terrible internet right now, so my feed is going. My stream for the game is going in and out. So it's hopefully it gets better. But did you see what happened to Andrews? I missed it. Was it bad? Was it good?
So it was. Do you remember the Tony Pollard injury in the 49ers playoff game last year when he got, and they're thinking about banning this, where he kind of gets pulled down and the guy comes down on the back of his Achilles. And so it's something with the Achilles or ankle or something to look like. So he was down for a while, and finally they came and kind of had a guy on each side helping him off. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's tough. So you're thinking it's probably like an ankle, lower body?
Looked like an ankle, yeah. And he'd already had, I think he had 2 catches probably for 20 yards already. So he was already putting up points.
Yeah. Well, there it is, 3-7. Where are you at in the stream? Did they just kick a field goal?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So I think we're on the same. Yeah.
All right, cool. So yeah, man, we're here talking NFL matchups, week 11, getting into the slate this week. This is a great way to kick it off. Thursday Night Football, Ravens, Bengals. Who did you pick in this for our Pick'em League?
I did go with the Ravens. I couldn't see them losing 2 in a row at home.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's hard to see the Bengals lose 2 in a row too because they lost last week as well. And I'm double checking. I think I went with the Ravens, but I could surprise myself and could have picked the Bengals. So I'm going to double check here. But yeah, I mean, other than this Thursday game and this Monday night game, because the week is ending with the Chiefs and Eagles, which everybody is going to be excited for that one. Outside of those two, what game do you like? Are you most excited for?
Let's see. I am trying to think what the other games are. Because Cowboys have got Panthers. I mean, as much as I'm a Cowboys, I'm not even that interested in it.
I'm excited for the Bears, obviously. Bears fan. Justin Fields coming back. Khalil Herbert possibly coming back. I can't wait to see how they play against that really, really good Lions team.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in the Texans-Cardinals. Just so, does the Texans keep up with this offensive outburst? And does Kyler Murray look like he did last week, 2 weeks in a row? So
yeah,
just from pure fantasy purposes.
Yeah, I personally think he will. I think Kyler, is that type of player where we saw him do it last week, and I think he'll do it again this week. So interesting. And now I can't get anything to load, so I'll wait for that to load up. But to be determined who I picked for tonight's game. I do think the Ravens are going to win, but I could have gone with that. I think it'll be a 1-score game. You know what I mean? It'll be a 3-point win either way. Yeah, I think Lamar is 7-1 against the Bengals. Do you know that?
No, that's oof.
Yeah, 7-1 against the Bengals.
Yeah, they look good. I mean, it was the first drive also. I mean, it was just Mitchell and Gus. So I think we're getting ready to see that tilt of kind of more of a 2-man back there.
Yeah, more of an even split. Last week it was Mitchell had 4 touches and Gus had 11 carries and I think a catch or 2, right?
Yeah, I just think it's going to be Mitchell gets the Justice Hill touches and carries, so that helps bring him up more to maybe like the 10 carry range.
Yeah.
And then Gus gets the most of the rest.
Yeah, so as an update, I did pick the Ravens for the Pick'em League, so I got that going. But we'll see how this plays out. It should be a good game.
Okay.
We can jump right into it, man. The Cleveland Browns are taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's in Cleveland. Cleveland is 6-3, but so are the Steelers. Talking this entire AFC North division as a whole, because the game we're watching tonight, it's AFC North battle. I haven't seen a division like this in a long time where if the Bengals win tonight, it's like 7-4, and then everyone else will be 6-4 or something like that. It's just crazy. How does all three teams have 6 wins outside of the number one team? So this is insane. Who do you got winning the Browns Steelers? We know that DTR is quarterback. Deshaun Watson's out for the rest of the season, and taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers, who just somehow find a way to win games. This game is both teams play the same to me. It's a really good defense and run the ball right now. So who's going to run it better and who's going to play better defense? You know what I mean?
Yeah, this was probably one of my tougher picks of the week, actually. Even with Watson being ruled out, like I feel that strongly in the Cleveland defense run game. And I also feel equally that strongly in how inept the Steelers offense can be at times.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I ended up going Steelers.
You did.
I did. So like I said, it was a real tough one, but I ended up going Pittsburgh, just Tomlin figuring out a way to disrupt a rookie, quarterback and doing enough on offense to squeak out like a 17-14 win.
Yeah, to me, DTR, we saw him the one time during the season. He really struggled. During the offseason and the preseason, we saw him play well, but man, are the Pittsburgh Steelers really going to win another game? Like, are they really going to go 7-4? Like, this is insane. And I heard something. If the Bengals win tonight and the Steelers win, the Steelers will be the number one team in the division. Isn't that insane?
No way.
What? How does this?
With the Ravens offense and the Bengals offense, that's crazy.
Yeah, it really is. But somehow, in some way, they keep winning. So, it's hard to go with the Browns here. DTR, it's hard to trust him. We've seen Kenny Pickett. He has the longest streak of completed passes without an interception. He's playing clutch, although he doesn't do much in order to win games because they're running the ball so well. And, man, this is really a coin flip. I have the Browns selected right now, but I can see myself switching to the Steelers before game time.
Yeah.
All right. How about my sorry-ass Chicago Bears taking on the Detroit Lions? Lions are 7-2 at home against Chicago, who is 3-7. Justin Fields coming back in the lineup. Khalil Herbert back in the lineup. Do we see a resurgence of DJ Moore and Cole Kmet from before the injury? What do you think?
Yeah, I hope so. As a DJ Moore owner in a couple leagues, I hope that's what it takes because he's such a good receiver that nobody talks about being a good receiver in the league.
Yeah.
And I hope so. My only concern is like, what is Fields? Is he 100%? Can he grip the ball as good? Is he going to be as good on long throws? I don't know. But I'm hoping that they're putting him out there that he is.
Yeah. For me, he has to be. In order for them to trust him to go out there, he's got to be able to throw the ball and grip it and be able to chuck it deep. And I don't, from the film that we saw him in practice last week, he looked pretty comfortable throwing the ball. You know what I mean? And that was a week ago. So with another week of preparation and another week of healing, I think he's fully back. And I think this offense, we will start to see it look somewhat like it did prior to Fields going down with the injury, although I'm not expecting Fields to throw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think we'll see some big plays, and the Bears will lose probably by a touchdown or more. This Lions team is really, really good. The offensive line for the Detroit Lions is top tier. You know what I mean? They're going to be. I'm curious to see how Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery do against the Bears defense, because the Bears have been really good at stopping the run lately. And is this going to cause Goff to just throw the ball a ton? We'll see. I'm guessing you're taking the Lions.
Yeah, I've got Lions.
Yeah, I do as well. And I don't expect to get shocked on this one, but
No.
it's in Detroit. It's pretty much signed, sealed, and delivered.
Yep.
Let's go with another loss for the Bears. Better draft pick. How about the Los Angeles Chargers are 4-5, taking on the Green Bay Packers. Packers are at home. The Packers are 3-6. Man, are the Packers going to be able to play at home and stop this Chargers offense that's putting up a ton of points, like 40 points?
I think actually, so I'm taking the Chargers.
Are you? Okay.
But I don't. I'm a little concerned. This may not be a great big week for Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned with Keenan Allen coming in. I mean, he was back in a limited practice today after missing earlier in the week, but he's got that shoulder injury. He was in and out of the game. He was out of the game, back in last week, but it's been having a tough time finding a second receiving option on that team.
Who I think it's going to be?
Jalen Guyton.
Yep.
Yeah.
You knew it. Yeah, Jalen Guyton, man. I've picked him up in a lot of deep leagues. I see him out on the waiver wire in pretty much every league. He's interesting. He was dealing with an injury. He's been inactive all season. He comes back in and looked like the wide receiver 2 next to Keenan Allen. So I'm looking for that connection to develop. I do like that. Danny Cousins has a question here. Considering this matchup, we're talking Chargers and Packers. Curious your opinion on Packers wide receiver. Where do you begin with this one, Shane? You know what I mean? Are you going with the rookie Jaden Reed? Romeo Doubs caught a touchdown early on in the game. Christian Watson has been left for dead. I dropped him in every league. You know what I mean? What's the right answer here for Danny Cousins?
So it's interesting. So I was looking up this for the preview for this game, and so you've got Doubs. He scored in 3 out of his last 4, but he's only averaging 3 catches a game in those 4 on the last 4 games. And then you've got Watson, and I don't remember the numbers exactly, but it was something like over the last 4 games, like his best game was like wide receiver 57.
Yeah,
and the rest were worse. And so I actually think Jaden Reed is the guy to have. Like, he now leads the team in receiving yards and yards per target. And
he's the only one doing it on a consistent basis too, right?
Right. Yeah. And he seems to have a connection with Love. I think he's if I'm ranking the receivers this week, he's the guy he'd be the one I would start, I would say right now.
Yeah, not that you want to start any of them.
No,
there's better options. There's better flex plays out there than a Packers wide receiver. However, if you're hurting, Jaden Reed seems to be the one that we go to.
Now, I would bring up this, Danny. If you are desperate for a wide receiver 3 or flex, go check on the guy we just talked about, Jalen Guyton, because here's the thing, Quentin Johnson, I had seen over his last 2 games, he's had 7 targets. Guyton last week got 6 targets. He had 41 yards in the score. His routes have gone up from 75% of the routes run the week before to last week. It was up over 85%. I think you're going to see Herbert trusting Guyton more than Quentin Johnson.
Well, he also has that history with him as well. I mean, he's multiple seasons now. Jalen Guyton's been a guy that he's been able to count on and rely on for those big throws. So, Casey Martin, welcome in. He or she, I'm not sure. Casey is one of those names that goes either way.
Could be Casey from Yellowstone Dutton Ranch.
My mistake. But anyway, need a bye week defense. Bills, Browns, Commanders, Jags.
Oh,
who do you like here? We got the Bills. I right off the bat, I like the Commanders going against the Giants offense, targeting anybody, any defense going like Shane. What, in your opinion, is the worst defense in the NFL?
It would probably be the Giants, or I mean,
Someone other than the Giants. So outside of the Giants, in your opinion, who has the worst defense in the NFL?
well, right. I don't know. Is it the Commanders?
I mean, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is, I don't care what level of defense that is playing the New York Giants. You want to start them. Like, this Giants team is terrible. So my pick is the Commanders. I personally picked up the Commanders in a few leagues, and I am starting them on for my defense. So Mark Andrews has been ruled out. He's done for the game.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, all right. That could be the way. I did see an alert that he was on crutches, so that might be a multi-week.
Crutches.
Yeah.
Wow.
We will have to see,
Yeah.
Isaiah Likely. So back to the defenses, Casey.
Yeah. We got the Bills are taking on the Jets. You got the Browns taking on the Steelers, and the Jags are taking on the Titans. So these are all favorable matchups for defenses, but I'm going to take the one that's the best with the Commanders taking on the worst overall offense. Personally,
So I was just curious. I'm looking real quick here. That's what I thought. Okay, so in the last 2 games, so Zach Wilson has taken 10 sacks, just 1 turnover, so the turnovers aren't bad. Does DeVito throw the ball much where he's going to have a bunch of sacks or a bunch of turnover opportunities, especially with that line of line now? The Commanders is the only thing I'm wondering about.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't have the information off the top of my head or on my fingertips, but I would imagine that the smart game plan would be to run the ball with Saquon 35 times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's between the Bills for me and then the Commanders. I'm just looking up here. Tommy DeVito last week, he's taken 11 sacks in 2 games, and he's thrown 3 interceptions in the last 2. All right, I'm siding with Chuck now after seeing those stats, so we'll go Commanders, Casey. It's Commanders.
Now, what about the Browns being the best defense out of these 4? Right now, if you just look at it on black and white paper, who has the better defense between the Bills, the Browns, Commanders, Jags?
Yeah,
the Browns clearly have the best defense, right?
They do. I just think that's a run-in type of game where sacks and interceptions are going to be limited. Like, I feel like that's going to be both teams. Pittsburgh's going to be running the ball 30 times and not a lot of Pickett opportunities to throw. They're probably not going to be behind in that game where Pickett does have to throw. So
yeah, I mean, he only threw for 124 yards last week. And they still won. They put up over 20 points. Yeah. And he's, like I said, I mentioned it earlier, he has the longest streak of completed passes without an interception. But does that mean he's due for one?
No, I don't know. I think, Casey, now that I've talked it through, looked this up, it's Commanders also.
Okay. All right, cool. Then we agree on that then.
Yep.
All right. So back to the game we were talking, the Chargers and Packers. Like we said, the Chargers have been putting up a large point total, and they're able to put up to 40 points. The Packers' pass defense is really good. We talked about Justin Herbert struggling. What about this run game? Do we see Aaron Jones being able to do anything? I know last week he was kind of quiet, limited to like 44 yards. And the run game on either side, because the Packers' run defense, let up over 200 yards on the ground to the Steelers last week. A great game for both Najee's best game of the season, and Jaylen Warren's first game going over 100 yards. So does Austin Eckler eat in this game? And what about Aaron Jones? What do you think?
Yeah, I think I like Jones in this game. I think when I was seeing the Chargers give up like 6 receptions a game to running back, so that I like those numbers for Jones coming back. He still out snapped Dillon last week. More carries, more routes, more targets. So
As it should be.
Yeah, as it should be. And then Eckler, I think, is now much matchup proof. The last 3 weeks, he's shown he's now 100% healed over that injury where he's been, I think, RB5, RB4, and RB4. So
yeah,
he's locked in.
Yeah, set it and forget it for sure. All right. Well, I'm guessing you're taking the Chargers in this game.
Let me just confirm. I think I did, but I'm going to confirm.
It's hard not
I
to.
did. Yeah, I've got it.
It's hard not to when you're looking at just the defenses on both teams are pretty bad, right? The Packers have a better pass defense, but that's about it. Both run defenses are terrible, and the Chargers pass defense is terrible. However, the one that gets the lean for me is that Chargers offense with what Herbert's able to do and what Austin Eckler's able to do. I just think that Chargers offense is going to win this game.
Yep.
And that's where I'm at. So I got the Chargers. All right. Next game, we have the Las Vegas Raiders 5-5 taking on the Miami Dolphins at home 6-3. Devon Achane. I hate saying his name like that, but Devon Achane is back. He is designated to return. We got word today. So Miami's back at full strength. Are the Raiders are on a 2-game win streak since firing their head coach, general manager, and offensive coordinator. Do you think they run into a brick wall this week in Miami?
Yeah. I think this is a 40 burger about ready to happen for Miami. I think they're putting up 40.
Did you see this? The Lamar Jackson heading to the medical tent with a leg injury?
No, I've got the game just here to my side. I missed that one. I mean, he scrambled to the right, and I guess I missed it. I didn't see.
Yeah, so did I. Oh no. Jeez, wow, can you imagine if the Ravens lose Mark Andrews and Lamar Jackson?
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine?
Oh.
How about so Deshaun Watson done for the season? Then Mark Andrews with an apparent leg injury. He's on crutches. Now fearing that Lamar. Oh my God, man.
Oh, that's bad, brutal.
Yeah.
Jackson Mack is not going to be happy about that since
he got him on his team.
I recommended Lamar Jackson over Josh Cook. Over Josh Allen.
Yeah. He had a better price tag in the beginning of the year, so I completely get that.
Well, he's got him on the same team.
Oh, he's got him in the same team. You're talking about this week. I thought you were talking
about
the draft season.
No, this week. Yeah, this week.
Oh, wow. He's had both of them?
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Good old
yeah, I don't know, man. That's rough. That is rough. So we'll keep an eye on that. But totally forgot what I was saying.
Raiders, Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Start your Dolphins.
Yeah, start your Dolphins. What about the Raiders, though? Have we seen anything in Aiden O'Connell that gives us any confidence in he's been so bad lately. I can't even think of his name. Devontae
Adams. He's actually, his last 2 weeks have not been bad, right? He's been, 14, 13 PPR points at least?
Yeah, definitely not bad, but I wouldn't say they've been good by any stretch of
not to his standards,
Yeah, exactly.
And plus, that defense is a little better. Jalen Ramsey's back and playing, but maybe he gets peppered with enough targets where he gets 7 catches for 70 yards and you get 14 PPR points. I think that's the high.
Yeah, it's the Josh Jacobs show. You know what I mean? He's been showing each week. He's just been dominating the touches. He is the focal point of this offense, the heart and soul. And the Miami Dolphins defense has been getting better. So we'll see what happens. But I think the Raiders somehow could stay involved in this game, although by the end of the game it will be out of hand. But I think they can keep it competitive through most of the game. But I'm definitely going with the Dolphins in the pick'em.
Yep, me too.
All right. How about another 12 o'clock game? We have the disgusting matchup between the New York Giants, who are 2-8, taking on the Washington Commanders, who are 4-6. It's in Washington. Is that FedEx Field? Is that correct or no?
Yep, I
Is that,
believe.
okay, yeah.
No, I think it's still FedEx. Yeah.
Yeah, it is FedEx Field. Oh, man, like we talked about the Commanders being the defense you want to start. I'm picking the Commanders to win here. Sam Howell is the number 3 quarterback on the season. That is so insane to me. That
It
is,
is.
I heard someone say it so nonchalantly, and I was like, dude, wait, what did you just say? Like, how is that even a statement that you can utter and just move on from? Like, you need to say that and then pause and let people catch up to be like, yeah, he is the number 3 quarterback on the season. He's been killing it, throwing for a lot of yards and a lot of touchdowns each week. I think he's averaging like over 270 and 3 or 270 and 2.5 or something. Something insane like that. So I think he does it again this week, and the Commanders beat the shit out of the Giants.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
it is. And with how, like, when you're getting like 40 pass attempts a game, I mean, that just helps you. I mean, it's crazy how much they pass the ball.
Yeah. Now, Terry McLaurin was on both of our green light lists this week. We do think Terry McLaurin's going to have a big game.
Yep.
Although Jahan Dotson kind of gets pushed off to the side with the addition of Curtis Samuel back in the lineup. Do you have any insight on that for the people out there?
Yeah, I think McLaurin's the only one I would go with now. I don't remember what the stat was, but it's like last 5 number 1 receivers against the Giants have had like 20 plus PPR points. So I mean,
Say his name. Say his name one more time.
Terry McLaurin.
Terry McLaurin. It reminds me of Do you remember watching Futurama?
Yes.
Slurm.
Uh-huh.
Slurm? Terry McLaurin. Yeah, so Terry McLaurin is going to have a really good game. I think he's been consistent wide receiver 2. I don't think he has that wide receiver 1 upside, but definitely going to score you enough points for you to be happy in your flex or wide receiver 2 or 3 spots. So hopefully you have a better option at wide receiver 1. I would hope so, but yeah, we'll see, man. So we're both on the Commanders. We've been picking pretty much on par, except for that Browns Steelers. But I even said I'm probably going to be switching to the Steelers. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
Next game we have the Dallas Cowboys are 6-3, taking on the Carolina Panthers are 1-8. I wouldn't even be watching this game. Like, you're a Cowboys fan. Are you going to pay much attention to this game? Because it should be a case closed ass whooping, right?
It should be. Yep. The only thing I'm interested in watching, because I've kind of stated this opinion out there, and I'm going to be curious to see if it comes to fruition a second week, is I think we'll start to see more carries from Rico Dowdle and to lessen that burden of Tony Pollard. So that's, even if I wasn't a Cowboys fan, I'd be interested in watching that. I picked up Rico Dowdle in 2 leagues this week just on that hunch. So that's what I'm curious to watch.
How many carries did he have last week?
I think it was like 13.
And last week was another blowout.
Yeah, it was. He did get carries though on the first drive. So it wasn't all. And then, I always get a kick out of Jerry Jones' comments during the week. And so this week,
they're the best.
He said, it was really good to see Dowdle up there. He runs super hard. I like now maybe us having a 1-2 punch. So you never know with what Jerry says, but I don't know. It's just something I'm going to be watching for.
Yeah, it's if Rico Dowdle is on your waiver wire out there and you have a roster spot to burn, pick him up. He should be rostered in every league. So I'll just reiterate that. But yeah, I mean, dude, this Carolina Panthers offense has really been struggling. I am avoiding Adam Thielen at all costs, the running backs at all costs. I think Chuba Hubbard and Miles Sanders should both be on the waiver wire, and you shouldn't pick them up.
Yep.
But Adam Thielen, stash him because I know Kulz mentioned it. Frank Reich is taking over the play calling again for Carolina. So, yeah. Sorry, I had a buddy texting me about a draft, or not a draft, a trade that he was working on, and I was going to mention it, but we'll talk about it.
Oh yeah, we got trade deadline most leagues this.
Yeah, we do, and it is popping off. I am getting My phone's been blowing up this week on people trying to make trades, asking me if this is a good trade or not. Just going through the scenarios, and I'm like, I don't have a lot of time on my phone. I'm driving the truck pretty much all day anyway, so I get off and I'm like on my phone, like, all right, yeah, this is a good one. This is a good one. And it's been craziness. Like, people make trades prior to the trade deadline. This doesn't need to be the week that you have to get trades done. Don't procrastinate and
No.
get your trades done. So
Lamar back in. He's okay.
Oh, thank God.
Yep.
Thank God. Don't scare us like that, Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
There goes Keaton Mitchell. All right, so back to the Cowboys Panthers. Don't trust any Panthers this week.
Nope.
Cowboys matchup is a terrible matchup for offense. And we talked about Rico Dowdle, someone that should be rostered in every league. But do you have confidence in Tony Pollard? We talked about his schedule improving throughout the next couple weeks. This being one of those weeks. Carolina's run defense is rather garbage. Do you think Pollard has a good game? Because we talked about this last week. We thought Pollard was going to have a good game last week in an easy matchup, and it turned out he didn't. So, am I foolish to think that he's going to do it this week?
No, I don't know if he goes for a bunch of yards, but I have a feeling they're just going to force feed him to get in the end zone after the narrative that's this week is gone with him.
Yeah. We have got a quick question here. Chandler. My screen is all messed up. Is that Costantino?
Chandler
Constantino. Trade St. Brown, Gibbs, Swift for CMC and Diggs PPR. Wow, what a barn burner. Amon-Ra, Jahmyr Gibbs, DeAndre Swift for CMC and Diggs PPR.
Wow, that is a really good offer.
Let me put it this way to you, Shane. Who do you like better rest of the season, St. Brown or Diggs?
St. Brown.
Okay, so St. Brown's above Diggs. Now, for Gibbs and Swift, would you trade both of those? Like, do you like Gibbs or Swift or CMC? Just separating in this part of this trade.
I have a little bit concerned about DeAndre Swift the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if one of two things happen. They work in more Kenneth Gainwell, some more Rashad Penny to make sure an injury doesn't happen. They get him healthy going into the playoffs. Or Swift, like most years, gets hurt at some point and misses 2 or 3 games. Man, CMC, that guy never comes off the field.
18-team league too. Wow.
Well, that puts a little different spin on it too, because the depth is important.
Yeah, the depth is definitely important, although we're encroaching that portion of the season where I am always looking to give away my depth for a stellar starting lineup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I am always a firm believer that the depth gets you through week 6 through weeks 12 or week 6 through week 11 during all those bye weeks. You need those pieces for injuries and bye weeks. Now that most bye weeks are over and most players are coming back from injury, you should be able to be good here. So, Chandler, I'm going to say that you should do this trade. CMC and Diggs here's my thing on Diggs. Ken Dorsey's out, offensive coordinator. Joe Brady comes in. They're going to do something to spark this offense. You're going to have to give Diggs the ball. He's a focal point of this offense, and you're going to see that this next week, I think. So having CMC and Diggs, and you can give up Gibbs and Swift, I think you're in a good spot because St. Brown is higher than Diggs, although they're very comparable.
Okay. Yeah.
I think Diggs has just as much upside as St. Brown. And we haven't seen it lately because this offense has been struggling, but they're making the necessary changes to turn things around. So that's where I'm at. I would do this trade, lock it in, CMC and Diggs.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I think, CMC, they never take him off the field. They leave him in and give him the goal line opportunities. Yeah. Like, barring an injury, like he's got such a big advantage over the other running backs.
Yeah. Yeah. And Chandler, when people say your last name, do they go Constantino? Do they do this? I'm just curious, just having fun. All right. So anyway, we talked about the Cowboys and Panthers. We are definitely all on the Cowboys side. Nobody in their right mind is picking the Panthers. But you never know, right? Any given Sunday, except this Sunday. So, how about the Tennessee Titans 3-6 taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars 6-3? It's in Jacksonville. You know what I'm starting to realize in this week 11? These picks are pretty chalky outside of the Thursday night game and the Monday night game.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You got the Brown Steelers, obviously, with the injury. It could go either way now. Chandler, yes, I'm Italian. It's just, Chandler, I see, I have Italian people in my family, and I've personally never met a Constantino, but there's also fewer names, Italian names, than like when you say Constantino, like it just rolls off the tongue where you're like super Italian. So I love it. I'm glad you're here. But anyway, yeah, these games are pretty chalky, like Lions over Bears, Chargers over Packers, Dolphins over Raiders, Commanders over Giants, Cowboys over Panthers, Jaguars over Titans. Like, if there's any week to put together a parlay and parlay some teams for some wins, for me, this might be one of the weeks I do it.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So talk to me about Titans and Jags. We got Will Levis after his stellar performance on his debut. He's been struggling as of lately. This Jaguars team also been struggling. Trevor Lawrence, I believe, is he on both of our red light lists or just mine?
Just yours, I think.
Just mine, yeah. So I put a red light on Trevor Lawrence after he had a 2-point performance last week against the 49ers. He's at home. He should bounce back, and this is probably a pick that I'll get wrong, but I don't know. What do you got for this match?
You got whoa. Does that mean is the Titans locked in right now for you?
No.
Okay.
I have the Jaguars picked here.
Okay, all right.
However, I'm saying I put a red light on Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
And that's where I'll probably be wrong on this matchup. Because of his terrible performance last week, a lot of people are going to be off on him. That offense has been struggling. They're at home going against the Tennessee Titans. I could see him doing enough for them to win this game. I could also see this game being close. The Jaguars defense isn't really that good. They're in the top half of the NFL, I would say. But Will Levis is capable of throwing it deep to DeAndre Hopkins. We've seen it before. He could find that rhythm again. And I could see this game being close. These games for the AFC South with the Titans and the Jags always find a way to be like weirdly close, where you don't think they're going to, you know what I mean? How all of a sudden it's, 24-23 and there's a minute left in the game. So I do have the Jaguars picked, but this seems like out of all the games we've talked about so far, outside of the Steelers and Browns, this game could go either way for me because, Mike Vrabel, he's very much like that Mike Tomlin type of coach where any given Sunday, this guy could pull it out.
Yep.
I mean, you have Derrick Henry.
Yep.
So Derrick Henry and DeAndre Hopkins can get the job done, in my opinion. So do you think we have anything else to talk about in this matchup?
No, I've got the Jags. I think you're going to be right on your Trevor Lawrence call too, by the way. Like they're different this year too. This year, like they can run the ball near the goal line. They're not relying on Trevor to throw.
Travis Etienne is like top 5 in touchdowns on the season.
Yeah. So
yeah. All right. Well, are we ever going to see another good game of Calvin Ridley this year?
Oh boy,
he dead in the water.
I don't know. It's rough. Like, and Christian Kirk just gets open. Like, and so Lawrence, and then you've got Evan Ingram that gets open, and
Yeah, I just recently traded away. I was messaging you during the trade negotiations, and you were kind enough to help me guide me and help my thought process straighten out a little bit. But I did trade Calvin Ridley for James Conner. I feel pretty good about it.
Oh yeah, I think that's a home run. Yep.
Yeah, considering last week Conner only had 77 yards on the ground, like 14 carries, but he was the workhorse, which he is. Yep. So I'm pretty confident in that working out. But Calvin Ridley, it's tough sledding.
Mm-hmm.
So all right, how about a game we are both talking about that we are excited for? The Arizona Cardinals are 2-8, taking on the Houston Texans are 5-4. couple really big wins for Houston Texans as of lately. CJ Stroud is playing out of his mind. Devin Singletary is coming off probably his best career football game last week, over 30 carries, massive amounts of yards. Another favorable matchup. Did we get word that Dameon Pierce is not playing? Is it official?
Not official, but he did not practice at all again today. So that is 2 straight days. It's looking
Yeah,
like
he's not.
gonna be out.
I don't think he plays then.
No.
If you don't practice on Wednesday and Thursday, the chances of you playing are slim to none.
Yep.
So a Singletary, can he do it again? You know what I mean? After having 2 favorable matchups, not getting it done, and then last week getting it done when I didn't think he was going to be able to do it, and then now you got against the Arizona Cardinals, so he should be able to do it this week, right? Because I need you to tell me that because I have it in my lineups. And
No, he
to
is.
tell me that
He
he's
is.
okay.
Like Arizona's bottom 10 in fantasy points allowed to running backs. Singletary, they're playing at home. Like, I think it's a smash spot for him.
I love it. And then CJ Stroud too. We love CJ Stroud this week. Love Tank Dell. Nico Collins is back. I still think, and I know that you and Kulz don't agree with me on this, but I still think you can flex Noah Brown if you absolutely needed to. Now, you might have to be in an 18-man league like Chandler Constantino, but yeah, yeah, Noah Brown has upside to me that a lot of players don't have.
Yeah, just double check. So today Noah Brown did not practice again.
Oh, okay. This was
he's got a knee issue.
Of.
Yeah, he's got a knee. It's classified as a knee. He didn't practice yesterday, and I was just double checking. He did not practice today also.
Okay. All right. So scratch that.
So
might not be worth a flex spot right now dealing with those injuries. But we shall see.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Kyler Murray looked really good last week. Trey McBride is freaking awesome. I love this guy. He's fitting great with this offense with Kyler. And what about Hollywood Brown? How do you see these and James Conner? Like, what's your gauge on this Arizona Cardinals offense?
I was surprised Brown didn't have a better game last week.
Me too.
And, that one was real surprising. I'm not surprised about McBride. Like, I don't remember what the stat was from last year, but Kyler Murray targets the tight end heavily. So I had said, like with McBride, there are only, at the best, there's only 5 tight ends I take over McBride rest of season. So I have him like it's number 6. At the worst, he'll be tight end number 6, I think, rest of season.
Yeah. And I mentioned it on our red light, green light episode. Zach Ertz is slated to come back from injury from IR. The Cardinals are the type of organization that would roll him back out there and just completely shit on everybody's dreams of Trey McBride. I'm just saying it seems like it's a possibility still, even though Trey McBride is breaking, which is crazy, dude. This is so insane how we go from a decade of rookie tight ends not mattering to a season where we have Trey McBride, Dalton Kincaid, Sam Laporta, even a little pickle of Michael Mayer, and these guys. Luke Musgrave. Like, this is insane. And it could just be the draft class that everyone was talking about. But I don't know. That's just really cool to see. So, and then Brock Bowers comes out next year.
Oh man, he's got to be a top 10 overall pick, right?
Where does he go though?
Well, with all the quarterbacks, maybe not top 10, but talent wise,
he's definitely a top 10 talent.
Yeah,
I think he goes. I think he goes in the top 20 picks.
Yeah,
definitely in the top 20. But I'm kind of curious to see who would draft him. You know what I mean? Like, if we could just play the hypothetical game right now, thinking of a team that doesn't have a tight end that could use one.
Oh man, I mean, he would never make it to there, but there's a James Mixon touchdown.
Oh, I just saw it. It skipped ahead as you said it. Yeah. What about the Bengals?
Bengals. No, my first thought was, and they may be in the range for him. Is what about the Chargers?
Ooh.
With Justin Herbert, never really had a tight end like that.
Yeah, Gerald Everett is not it.
Not it.
Yeah, man, the Chargers, that would be if Justin Herbert had a tight end that he could rely on. I mean, Keenan Allen's getting old.
Yep.
Mike Williams can't stay healthy, and Quentin Johnston doesn't seem like it was the right choice. So you definitely need to do something offensively in the draft. I could definitely see that. That's a good call.
Yep.
All right, let's jump into the next game. Just to summarize, are you taking the Texans at home or the Cardinals to upset?
No, I've got Texans.
Yeah, me too.
Yep.
Although that's one of those sneaky games where I could see, just like the Titans and Jags, like, okay, put it this way, right? I already mentioned this, how this week seems chalky, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no way. Like, I'm looking at this this pick'em matchup, which is on ESPN. It's a pick'em league. Over 90% of the people are picking the Lions. 90% of the people are picking the Chargers. 90% of the people are picking the Dolphins. 90% of the people are picking the Commanders. 90% of the people are picking the Cowboys. 90 on the Jags and 90 on the Texans. There's no way that all those games hit. You know what I mean? There's gonna be an upset somewhere.
So the two that stand out to me would be Titans and Packers.
Titans and Packers. See, I'm on Titans and Cardinals. I don't think the Packers can beat the Chargers. I don't know.
The way the Chargers things at times.
Yeah,
I could never
that's true.
Past them.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, for me, the Titans and Cardinals just stand out. Like they could possibly go the other way.
And then speaking of 90%, the next game.
Yeah, another 90%. That's what I mean. Every game, it's 90% of the people are picking them. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 4-5 going into San Francisco, taking on the big bad 49ers are 6-3. How do you not pick the 49ers here? They're completely dominant. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are not a good football team, although their defense plays well and their offense does just enough to keep them in games. Excuse me. 49ers by a landslide. Start all your 49ers. Yeah. Even with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers run defense, you still start Christian McCaffrey, obviously. Start him with confidence no matter what the matchup is. But this Tampa Bay Buccaneers passing defense is the worst. It's terrible. So I have Brock Purdy on my green light list. You have him as well?
Yeah, we
both love Brock Purdy this week. In return, I love Ayuk this week. I love Debo this week. I love Kittle this week. Yeah. Like this is a massive game for the 49ers. And I think they win by almost by 2 touchdowns. I think this is going to be a blowout. So yeah, and then in return, I wouldn't feel comfortable starting any Buccaneers. Obviously, you're gonna have to start Mike Evans. You start your studs. If there's anybody that's going to score points, Mike Evans could be the one. Although the 49ers are a stingy pass defense.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Would you feel comfortable starting Mike Evans? I mean, you probably have to.
That would be the only guy, and maybe he can. It's one of those 7-catch games for 60 yards. And if you could get 13 points in this matchup.
Joe Burrow is in the medical tent.
Well, so I just saw the replay.
What is happening?
He was shaking his hand like this. And it's his throwing hand.
Okay.
So I just saw the replay after that touchdown pass.
We need to get through these games because I am not paying attention to this live stream. I am focusing on these games with you, which is great. But
this is horrible. Like the names are getting hurt.
Yeah, this is insane. Absolutely insane. All right. So anyway, back to the 49ers Buccaneers. What about Rachaad White? Rachaad White has been on fire lately. Carrying the ball 20 times, still has about like five catches a game. I know this is a tough matchup, but it's a volume play if you have to play him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, he is getting a lot of touches. You might have to start him. I'm trying to think of situations of guys you picked up. So here would be a scenario. If you just picked up Ty Chandler, do you start Ty Chandler over Rachaad White?
I would, yeah. Ty Chandler going against the Denver Broncos defense. Like I know Zay Flowers just
I just saw that, but it looks like it's coming back. There's a flag.
Shit. All right. Anyway, what were we talking about? My brain is all over the place right now.
Okay, so we were talking about should you start Rachaad White, and I put out the scenario. You picked up Ty Chandler. Is that a play to make over White?
Yes, for me it is because we saw Chandler score a touchdown last week. Kulz was talking about how good the Denver Broncos defense has been, but yet they have a large history of the season, recent history of playing poorly. Like, I don't think they fully turned it around yet. I'm going to ask you a question.
Oh, stupid Odell Beckham. Those LSU boys just making dumb mistakes.
Those damn Tigers.
God.
Kulz isn't here, so we could thrash on him.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. Who is the better defense, the Vikings or the Broncos right now currently? If you were to
Vikings.
craft Vikings, right? I would say the
Vikings.
same thing. Vikings are in like that 15 to 16 range, middle of the pack, and Broncos were one of the worst. Now they're in like that 23, 24 range. Would you agree with that?
Probably, yeah.
Just generally speaking, and I was just curious. So,
Yep.
yeah. With that being said, now Burrow's running off.
Oh, is he going to the locker room too now?
Probably going for an early halftime.
It's 5:04 left. I bet he's going in to get X-rays.
Oh yeah, that could be it. So yeah, 49ers by a landslide. And
Yep. This game is drunk.
there. Yeah. All right. What about this next 3:00 game? We got the New York Jets taking on the Buffalo Bills at home. This is another game that could go either way with how bad the Bills have been playing, how good the Jets defense is, and oh my God!
Oh, did you see that? He couldn't grip the
what?
ball. He couldn't grip the
What?
ball. We're looking at like a Matthew Stafford or Justin Fields injury, right?
What?
Yeah, he couldn't hold and grip the ball.
That was not real.
No, and I just saw the update. They said, yeah, he couldn't hold and grip the ball. He's off to the locker room. It's got to be getting X-rays.
It's definitely getting X-rays. That throw, if everybody's out there is watching this game, that throw looked bad. He was on the sideline, just going to toss the ball around, making sure he's okay. And wow,
yeah, he couldn't even grip
that
it.
was concerning. Yeah, that's probably like I would say Justin Fields type.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Anyway, Jets Bills. Do you think Joe Brady is going to make a big difference this week? Can he turn it around in 1 week?
I don't know if it's a big difference facing the Jets, but I don't know. I don't care if it was Joe Brady or Mr. Brady from the Brady Bunch. They're going to beat the Jets.
So, but I'm saying, like, are we going to see kind of
long
like
term? Are you thinking long term past this week? Does he make a difference?
No, I'm curious to see if we put it this way, right? You fired Ken Dorsey, Joe Brady comes in. Is 1 week long enough to change things up to where it's going to be visibly noticeable?
No, I don't know if we see big differences first week. No.
That's what I'm thinking too, and I feel like a lot of people are going to be expecting that. You know what I mean? You get a new offensive coordinator, but in 1 week to implement a whole new plan or a whole new, you have limited days during the week.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just temper expectations with the Bills, but they should definitely win the game.
Yep.
All right. So are we worried about Josh Allen against this Jets defense?
Yes. Okay. So I've got in one league, I'm benching him for Jared Goff.
Ooh.
So that's where I am with him based off of how they looked, what he did versus the Jets first week.
Yeah.
Last year he didn't have great games versus the Jets either.
No.
So
no, they know how to defend him, and God, it's so hard to tell people to not play Josh Allen. You know what I mean? But this is, if there's any week to say it, this is the week to say it. You know what I mean? So, oh man.
Yeah, I would start Dak Prescott over Josh Allen.
Okay.
I would start Tua over
Would you
Josh
start
Allen.
Sam Howell?
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Okay.
I don't know by that, but Jared Goff, obviously I'd start. Now I'm thinking about CJ Stroud versus him.
Yeah, C.J. Stroud or Josh Allen.
That would be a close one, but those guys that I mentioned is who I'd start over Allen for sure.
Yeah, I think I would go Stroud over Allen, and honestly, I think I would go Howell over Addison or over Josh Allen as well. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm saying that. But yeah, I'm taking the Bills here. It just seems like the Bills are falling apart, man. And I don't know if Joe Brady's going to be able to stop that landslide that's currently happening. So we'll see what happens, but we both got the Bills. How about the last 3:00 game? We got the Seattle Seahawks, 6-3, taking on the Los Angeles Rams. It's at SoFi in LA. The Rams are 3-6. Stafford comes back. Is that a big play by
Odell
Beckham? Okay. So your Rams get Stafford back. And I think the Rams are going to look just like they did before Stafford's injury. What do you think here? The Seahawks are so hard to gauge out.
They are. This was a tough one for me to pick.
Yeah.
You don't know what Seahawks team you're going to get, really.
Ever. Any week. No, is it going to be Kenneth Walker? Is Geno going to throw 3 interceptions? Is he going to throw 3 touchdowns? Do you see Tyler Lockett go out there and go 7 for 120? Or is DK Metcalf going 7 for 120? Or does JSN go 6 for 70? You know what I mean? It's like they're so all over the place that I don't know.
Yeah. So I picked the Seahawks, but this may be one I end up changing when we get closer on Sunday. If I see I was just curious. I wasn't sure how Stafford, if he's 100% with that thumb, grip, throw, velocity, all that stuff. If he's 100%, I may rethink this pick for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you. I personally have the Rams selected here. This is another one of those upsets. I just think the Rams can beat the Seahawks. Divisional matchup. Stafford coming back. When is Kyron Williams coming back? I feel like he's been on IR for 8 weeks.
Yeah, week 12.
Week 12. Jesus.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I can't wait for that to happen. I need him in a couple leagues. But we'll see. Yeah, so is there anything else to talk about in this matchup? What do you think?
No, I mean, I think you're starting the usual guys, so
yeah, I mean, your Kenneth Walkers.
Yeah, Puka and Cooper Kupp. Forget what happened at Dallas. I think put him back in.
Did you see Puka's questionable? Do you know anything about this?
I think he's got that tag, but he practiced today, so
okay, that's good.
That's good.
Oh, look at that touchdown.
Oh my gosh, but there's another flag. What the heck?
Oh my God.
Did somebody block again where they shouldn't have?
Where's Odell Beckham? Oh, this is funny. All right, so Puka's practicing, probably going to play. Don't worry about that questionable tag.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go Rams. I want them to win this game. All right, how about the Sunday night football game? Minnesota Vikings 6-4, taking on the Denver Broncos at home 4-5. We know Kulz is taking the Broncos here. You know what that means? I'm taking the Vikings here. Okay. If I can grab this game, I'll inch one game closer and I'll be tied with Kulz, 1 game closer to you. Please tell me you're taking the Broncos in this matchup.
I don't like the matchup, but I've got it right now. I do have the Broncos.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Lock it in and don't change it, Shane.
It is set there. And it kills me because I think we talked about it the other, I don't know, on one of the streams. We talked about, I love watching Joshua Dobbs play. So,
he's so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
He's electrical. And Justin Jefferson should be back. Do we know any information on that? Are you privy?
I haven't heard. No, I haven't heard for sure if he's back 100% or not. So
look who's back with us, Tyreek Hill. We were just talking your matchup, buddy. Ravens or Bengals? I'm going Ravens. We both picked the Ravens prior to the game. Now Joe Burrow is dealing with some sort of hand injury. Looked like a thumb. Can't grip the ball. Can't throw it. A crazy person would be picking the Bengals to win this game at the current moment. We're dealing with that Joe Burrow injury. And Mark Andrews out too. he's out for the game. So,
Yep.
Any other questions, Tyreek? Feel free to hit anything, whatever you got, Tyreek. Lay it on us. So yeah, the Minnesota Vikings. I think they're going to play really well against the Denver Broncos, even though it's at home in Denver. We were talking about how fun he is. Ty Chandler is definitely a startable asset in this matchup. I don't think Madison's going to play. Still dealing with that concussion protocol. He did not practice on Wednesday. Did you get any updates about him today?
So today he practiced in a limited. He was limited participant. So I don't know what that means when you had a concussion, but if you're limited, I'm assuming that means you haven't been put in the protocol yet. So,
or that you're not out of the protocol.
Well, I don't know if he was officially placed in the protocol. He had a concussion, but if he was in the protocol, I don't know if you can practice in any capacity if you're in the protocol. But I'm not sure. We need our Dr. Morse, Jesse Morse, on here.
Yeah, someone's Tyreek is looking for Jax. We need Jax on here to let us know exactly what we're doing this week. Oh man, it's okay. Is he around?
Jack. Yeah, he's here.
He's here.
He's gonna want your opinion on his lineup anyway. So
okay,
let's finish off these games and then
all right, real quick, and we'll have our last game. We're gonna have Jack's pick as well. We have the Philadelphia Eagles 8-1 taking on the Kansas City Chiefs 7-2. This is the game that could go either way. Chiefs are at home. Eagles are playing really good. Where are you at, Shane, with this? Because right now I'm taking the Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles for the reason that their defense are comparable, but we've seen the Chiefs. The recipe to beat the Chiefs is taking Kelsey out of the game, and defenses have been able to do that, and Mahomes can't do anything else with the football. And you're not going to be able to run the ball, I think, on either side. So, yeah, I'm going Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to win this game. They're getting revenge on the last year's Super Bowl.
I've got the Chiefs. I think so. This would be your opportunity to catch up another one. But I just think I said it when we were talking about red light, green light. People underrate that defense.
Yes, absolutely. Tony. Okay, so we got Tyreek Hill in here asking questions. Now we got Tony Pollard asking questions. Shane, this is your guy, Tony Pollard. Okay. Do you think Justin Jefferson would be a top 2 wide receiver if healthy? Top 2. Would he be a top 2? Can the Pastronaut Josh Dobbs support let's just say a top 5 wide receiver, let alone top 2? Top 2 is a little rich for my blood personally.
So rest of the season, I would rank him this way. I would go Tyreek Hill 1.
Yeah.
I would go CeeDee Lamb 2.
Okay.
And then probably Jefferson 3.
Okay.
So he's probably there 3. And St. Brown, AJ Brown, the Brown brothers.
The Brown. I would think I would put AJ Brown and Amon-Ra right there, but he's a cusp top 5.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at. But it's also we'll see. You know what I mean? Yeah. Hawkinson was a big part of this offense.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. So you're taking the Chiefs.
I am.
Any reason as to why?
I just think the defense is solid. They're going to shut down the run game. The Eagles have struggled with teams. I don't think they'll be an Arrowhead environment. It's crazy on a Monday night. So
okay, something's going on right now. Something is going on right now.
The Cowboys.
We have Tyreek Hill, Tony Pollard, and now CeeDee Lamb is asking questions.
Hey, listen, Rule 1 Proteins. When you sponsor the road show, this is the level of audience that comes and participates in our shows.
I think Kulz is behind this. I'm just gonna say I think Kulz is doing something.
This is what happens, Rule 1. Like when you get on in the beginning, the A-list of athletes is on our show asking questions. They all can play fantasy football now, so they're interested.
CeeDee Lamb, do you think Dak is in the MVP race? Shane, do you think Dak is in? No, he's not. Although if he continues to play like he is, I could see an argument for it later on in the season. So there's that.
All right. Oh, here's Jax. Jax, come here.
All right, Jax, come on in here.
Sit down. Where's your phone? Where's your lineup decisions you had?
What line? Oh, the one I was supposed to say?
No. What you wanted to ask about your team?
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask.
All right, let's hear the Jax O'Max question of the week. What do you got for me, Jax?
Hold on, let me go my. So I was looking at my running backs.
Okay.
And I was deciding if I should. I have in
Here, look up.
I have in D Henry right now.
Okay.
I have in D Henry right
Derrick
now,
Henry.
and I was wondering if I should go. I was wondering if I should put in Joe Mixon.
Well, we're sorry we missed that chance.
Yeah,
Joe
Joe Mixon's playing right now. But I don't think I would have taken Derrick Henry out for Joe Mixon. So if Derrick Henry's in your lineup, I think you're still in a good spot. Do you have any other? Are you questioning anyone else on your lineup to maybe put in?
Hold up. Yeah, hold up. Let me look.
And receivers.
I have Tyreek in, and I have Brown in, St. Brown in, and I don't know his name.
So he's got wide receiver 3 is who do you have in? You got Puka Nacua in right now,
Okay.
or Mike Evans, or it's a flex spot. So okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's his truck. Okay,
Okay.
Puka Nacua.
Yeah.
It's Mike
Yeah.
Evans, or it's Devon Achane if he's activated.
Oh, okay. So you definitely want to go with Devon Achane, the Miami Dolphins running back. He's stellar. Before he got injured, he was putting up over 100 yards and multiple touchdowns. I think in his first game back, he's going to be unleashed like a rocket. You want to put Devon Achane in your flex spot and don't look back. You're going to win this matchup just for that reason alone. I'm telling you what.
Yeah, I'm versing he's horrible. He's like 0-9 right now.
He's 0-9. Oh yeah, you need to put an H in. Yeah, you cannot let him beat you for his first win of the season.
He sucks. He really
What's his lineup? Let's put him on blast. What's his lineup right now? What does he got?
Hold up. How do we go to his lineup? Yeah, his name's Jacob. I'm gonna look at his lineup. He's in this stream right now.
Let's put him on blast.
He chose his first pick, Patrick Mahomes. So he has Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, classic.
Jay Jacobs.
Okay.
A Jones. He has 2 running backs in right now.
Okay.
Amari Cooper.
All right.
He has Cortland Sutton. I don't know how to say his name.
Okay. No, you got it.
Hawkinson.
Okay.
Kicker is Keenan Allen.
Not his kicker.
Kicker? Oh, we have a wide receiver. Whatever.
Yes, his flex.
Yes, flex. Whatever. His defense is the Dolphins. His kicker is Carlson.
Well, I'm a bit surprised when you said he hasn't won a game yet. I was expecting a much worse lineup. He actually has a pretty good lineup, so you got to watch out. Yeah, you got to make sure you play the right guys. So I think you have a great lineup as it is. If you start Devon Achane in your flex, I think you're in a good spot for.
No, I'm gonna beat him like 100 something. Like 100.
Yeah, but Josh Jacobs. I know people are. We got CeeDee Lamb and we got Tyreek Hill over here. They're commenting and CeeDee Lamb saying Jacob. Yeah, Josh Jacobs is a good running back, so watch out for him. But yeah, man, I think you're in a good spot. It's an 8-man league. Every team is stacked. Yeah, that's probably true, Tyreek Hill. Probably true.
Yeah, I lost barely to Tyreek Hill, my friend.
Oh, did you?
I barely, just by a little bit.
Oh, okay.
This player's pretty good.
All right, cool. All right. Well, Jax, did you have any other questions?
No, I don't think so. Oh.
Okay.
All right. What's your before you head out, Jax? Do you have anything to say? Tell the folks.
Buckle up.
Yeah. We got a Jax O'Mac buckle up live on the pod. You guys, that's awesome. That's great. That's great.
All right.
Tyreek Hill. Oh, he's in it. So Tyreek Hill is one of the people in his league.
Okay.
That's what he meant. So, okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Well, that was awesome. That was the highlight of the whole show. So that was great. And I think we covered all of it. So That is our week 11 matchups. Stay tuned. Check in with us on Sunday morning at 10 a.m. We're going to be going over the live start sits. We do it every Sunday at 10 a.m. If you have any last minute questions on your lineup, join us here at youtube.com/sportsethos. Real quick, Shane, move your camera a little bit to the Rule One Proteins. This episode is brought to you by Rule One Proteins. Go to www.rule1proteins.com. Enter promo code ROADIES40 at checkout for 40% off. That's ROADIES40. They got supplements, they got pre-workout, they got protein, you name it, multivitamins. They're the best stuff on the market. You won't be mad that you got it. So go check them out. And I'm gonna clip that Jack's buckle up, and I'm gonna do something with that. So we're gonna do that. And stay tuned, everybody. We appreciate you, Shane. I appreciate you hanging out with me. It's probably gonna be us on Sunday morning too. Hate to break it to you. I think Kulz is a no-show for that one as well. He's got a very busy weekend ahead of him. He's at one of his best friend's wedding. So congratulations to you, Max. Have fun out there, Kulz, and we'll talk next week. But Shane, as always, I appreciate it. And what should everybody do?
Jack said, buckle up.